What's going on, guys? In this video, I'll be going over how to budget your money better and also a little bit on how to save. And I think this is important and relevant to my channel because on my channel, I talk a lot about investing and personal finance and how to, buy stocks on the stock market and, stuff like that. So this is definitely directly related to that because if you don't have a good budgeting plan, or if you're just simply bad at saving money, you're never going to be able to invest. But anyways, getting right into it. I think the first part of actually being able to budget is to have money to actually budget, and then that goes along with saving as well. You can't really start saving money if your expenses outweigh your income, and that's just pretty basic math right there. You have to make more money than what you spend, and if you don't realize that, it'll be almost impossible to save any money, and then further along the line it'll be impossible to invest any sort of money. So I think the very first step to start doing that is to just simply figure out a way either to cut down your expenses or to increase your income, or just create some sort of small amount of money that you could start either saving with or budgeting with. I think the best way to do this, and really the first step to start budgeting, is to simply kind of look around your house and figure out what things you want to get rid of and what things you don't need, and then either sell them one way or another, whether it be on Craigslist or eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Just figure out one way to sell them. I personally like Facebook Marketplace and eBay the best right now. eBay online and Facebook Marketplace obviously in person, if you weren't aware of that. But I think this is a very, very crucial part to budgeting and saving money, and one that helped me a lot, because when you first start off, you're trying to budget and save money, there's probably a good shot you don't have thousands or hundreds of dollars just laying around for you to save up, or for you to put towards an investing account or a savings account or whatever it might be. And I think one thing that can definitely help a lot is by looking around your house and selling a bunch of crap that you don't really use anymore. So, a rule of thumb with me is if it, doesn't provide any intrinsic value to me, and if I haven't used it in the past 8 months, then it's usually something I could post and sell. Now, obviously there's some things that are just simply garbage, and then some things that are actually worth something that you could sell. For example, I have, sitting literally 2 feet away from me right now is my guitar that I have definitely not used in a very, very long time, if at all, and that could be something that I could probably pretty easily sell on Facebook Marketplace for an easy $50. And I obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but I'm in the game of buying and selling on eBay a little bit. If you follow my channel, you might know that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff around me that I'm selling or looking to sell on eBay right now, but I'm sure if you go around your house, do a little bit of cleaning, do a little organizing, I'm sure you'll be able to find maybe some old technology, like some old phones that you never turned in, or some old clothes that you don't wear anymore but are still in decent condition that maybe you could sell online. I'm sure there's tons of things that you could find around your house to sell to start off budgeting and doing stuff like that. I'm going to turn around my brightness a little bit because that's blinding me right now. The next thing I think you're going to want to do is figure out a way to actually make a budget plan, and I think the easiest way to do this in 2019 is to simply use an app. My personal favorite budgeting app is called Clarity Money, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They're not paying me to do this. It's just one that I actually use. It hooks right up to your bank account or your credit cards or your savings account, whatever it might be, and it kind of gives you a pretty clear and concise outline of how much money you're bringing in and how much money you're spending, which is just the very basics of budgeting. And it's super easy to use, super clean, and it's free to use. So that, once again, that's called Clarity Money. I personally like it. I hook it up with all my bank accounts, and it is pretty super easy to use now. And I've been using it for some time, and I really haven't had any problems for it or anything like that, and it really has helped me. And it kind of gives you warnings as well, it's you've spent blank amount in the past few days. It looks like you've had some big expenses, or it'll be you've spent, I don't know, $10 in the last few days. Looks like you're doing pretty well. So it kind of tries to give you some motivational help as well as being useful. And the next thing that I think will actually help you save quite a bit of money and help you with your budgeting is to just simply by having better time management. And I've talked about this on my channel before, actually, and why I think this is actually super important is because typically when when your expenses are too much, or you're looking to save more money or something like that, there's usually some like underlying problem that comes before the just straight up issue of having to budget better or having to save more money. And typically these issues stem from simply having bad habits. Like, for example, one bad habit that I still have and that I try to cut out as much as I can is staying up too late and then oversleeping or not waking up early enough in the morning to, have a good breakfast, have a cup of coffee, things like that. And then I usually end up, going to Tim Hortons on my way to work or on my way to school and spending, anywhere from $5 to $10 on a coffee and a breakfast sandwich every morning. And this is like a really, really bad habit to have, and one that could end up using a ton of money in the long run. And something that happened to me in the past, and I've been trying my hardest to fix, and the just main way to fix that is to, for myself, just simply go to bed earlier, which is, at the end of the day, resulting in having better time management throughout the day, so that I'm not up all night doing things like editing YouTube videos or doing my homework for college or, responding to YouTube comments, whatever it might be. So I think having actually better time management is something important to do. And the next step, and I think the next thing to really help budget and save your money a lot better, is just simply doing things simply like you could either use the app I was talking about, Clarity Money, or you could use, just a simple spreadsheet, whatever you prefer. It really doesn't matter. But really figuring out how much money do you make and how much money are you spending every single month. And I think a month is a good way to look at it, because perhaps, you might get paid weekly or bi-weekly or whatever it might be. And, you probably have weekly expenses, like normal things like just groceries and gas and, transportation, things of that nature. And then you also probably have monthly spending fees like your rent or your car insurance, your car payment, whatever that might be as well. So I think actually putting it in front of you, and regardless of what it is, whether you're doing a good job or a bad job, simply putting all your expenses in front of you and kind of figuring out how much you're actually making versus how much you're actually spending is very, very important. I'm sure a lot of you, if you think right now, could you actually in your head add up those numbers? Like, do you actually know the numbers off your head? Because there's probably a very, very good chance you don't. And I think that is a problem when you're looking to budget and save money. And then the next and final step, which is, fairly obvious, you either need to make more money or you need to spend less. And I think it's a little bit easier to spend less by simply looking at your monthly expenses and thinking, okay, do I really need that Netflix, membership? Do I really need that Spotify membership, that Hulu one, Amazon Prime, my gym membership? There's probably a ton of monthly fees that you're paying one way or another to some sort of company that you likely don't need. And I know for myself, I cut off, I reduced. Like, I was paying for like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, my gym membership, my Adobe Premiere membership. I was paying all these monthly fees that I didn't need, and I was easily able to cut those in half and save a few extra $100 a year. And luckily mine weren't too high, because I've been doing pretty decent with my budgeting. And I mean, the last thing that you could do if you wanted to do was increase your income. And I think like doing that at your normal workplace might be a little hard, because you could ask for a raise and they could just go tell you to F off. But I personally have a side income, which is my YouTube channel, and also things that stem from my YouTube channel, as well as flipping on eBay. And I actually think flipping on eBay or Facebook Marketplace is like a super easy thing that anyone can do. But I also think that YouTube, or like sites like YouTube, where you generate ad income and you can generate other income just from like that big social media pillar. There's plenty of websites out there that you can do that with. I think it's super easy nowadays to make a side income online, but once again, that will involve you, sacrificing some luxury time for some time to put in some extra work. But other than that, guys, that's really it for this video. This is a little bit about how I budget and save money, and maybe perhaps some of these, tips and things that I do can help you as well. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this video. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was some of the stuff in this video I said helpful? Maybe perhaps you fall victim to some of the poor budgeting practices that I mentioned in the video. Let me know. I always like to hear what you guys have to say. But other than that, guys, if you're new to the channel, I talk about the stock market, personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, things like that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely head on my channel, and if you like what you're seeing, consider subscribing. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching.